There is a battle that takes place every single day, long before the rest of the world has opened its eyes. It is a silent war, fought not with swords or arrows, but with the will. The outcome of this battle determines whether you will walk through your day as a master of your circumstances or as a servant to them. Most men lose this battle before their feet even touch the floor. They surrender their sovereignty to the warmth of their sheets, the lure of more sleep, and the immediate dopamine hit of a digital screen. But the ancient samurai understood a fundamental truth that modern society has forgotten. The day is not something you endure, it is something you conquer, and the conquest begins in the dark. Chapter 1. The Hour of the Tiger. In feudal Japan, the samurai operated on a schedule that would seem punishing to the modern mind. They often rose during the Hour of the Tiger, which corresponds to the time between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. This was not merely a habit of productivity, it was a strategic necessity rooted in the philosophy of *zanshin*, or sustained alertness. To the warrior, the world of the daylight was filled with chaos, politics, and the demands of their lords. The pre-dawn darkness was the only time that belonged entirely to them. It was a vacuum of silence where they could calibrate their minds and spirits before the inevitable friction of the day began. Miyamoto Musashi, the sword saint who survived over 60 life-or-death duels, did not stumble out of bed in a fog of confusion. He understood that the state of your mind upon waking sets the trajectory for your entire existence. If you wake with hesitation, you will live with hesitation. If you wake with anxiety, you will fight with anxiety. The samurai woke before the sun because they believed in seizing the initiative. By rising while their enemies, both physical and internal, were still asleep, they established a psychological dominance that lasted until sunset. They were moving while the world was still. Chapter 2. The Modern Defeat. Contrast this with the morning of a man named Caleb. Caleb is a capable man with high ambitions, but his life feels like a constant game of catch-up. Every morning, his alarm rings and his first action is a negotiation. He bargains for 10 more minutes of sleep, a subtle act of surrender that signals to his subconscious that his comfort is more important than his mission. When he finally rises, he is already behind. He immediately reaches for his phone, flooding his brain with the cortisol of news, the envy of social media, and the demands of email. Before he has even washed his face, his mind has been colonized by the agendas of others. Caleb goes through his day feeling reactive, irritable, and scattered. He believes he is exhausted because of his workload, but in reality, he is exhausted because he is structurally weak. He has no armor. By skipping the ritual of the morning, he steps onto the battlefield of life completely naked. He is easily triggered by stress, easily distracted by noise, and easily defeated by his own impulses. He is living in a state of secondary action, always responding to what happens to him rather than determining what will happen. He is a Ronin without a code, drifting through the currents of mediocrity. Chapter 3. The Ritual of Purification. The turning point for the samurai, and for any man seeking self-mastery, is the concept of *misogi*. *misogi* is a Shinto practice of ritual purification, often involving washing the body with cold water. When the samurai woke in the freezing cold of a Japanese winter, they did not seek warmth. They sought the shock of the cold to sever the attachment to comfort. When Caleb decides to adopt the way of the warrior, he must begin here. He must stop viewing the morning as a time for ease and start viewing it as a forge. The first time Caleb wakes at 5 a.m., his body screams in protest. His mind offers him 1,000 logical reasons to go back to sleep. This is the first enemy. By standing up and walking into the cold, he kills that enemy. He splashes freezing water on his face, not for the health benefits, but for the psychological assertion of will. This act screams to the nervous system that the spirit is in command. This is the removal of spiritual stagnation. In the silence of the pre-dawn, there are no emails, no expectations, and no noise. There is only the self. It is in this terrifying quiet that true identity is rebuilt. Chapter 4. The Blade of Focus. Once the body is awake and purified, the mind must be sharpened. The samurai would often engage in *zazen*, meditation, or the practice of calligraphy to center themselves. They practiced *ichigyo zamai*, the art of full concentration on a single act. For Caleb, this means sitting in a chair with a single cup of coffee and doing absolutely nothing else. No phone, no music, no multitasking. He simply exists. In this stillness, he visualizes the day ahead, not with anxiety, but with strategic detachment. He identifies the single most critical task he must accomplish, his killing blow for the day. This period of silence acts as a shield. When Caleb finally opens his door to the world, he is not frantic, he is heavy with purpose. When a crisis lands on his desk at 9 a.m., he does not react emotionally. He responds logically because he has already established a state of Fudoshin asterisk, or the immovable mind, hours before the crisis occurred. He realizes that the morning is the anchor. If the anchor is deep and heavy, the storm cannot drift the ship. The samurai woke early not to do more work, but to ensure that the work they did was flawless. Chapter 5. Victory before the war. The philosophy of the warrior states that the battle is won before the sword is even drawn. This concept, Katsujinkan implies that the preparation dictates the outcome. If you wait until the moment of conflict to find your courage, you are too late. If you wait until the workday begins to find your focus, you have already lost. The discipline of the early morning is the cultivation of a victory that hasn't happened yet. It is the accumulation of a secret advantage. By waking before the sun, you claim a portion of reality that the herd will never see. You witness the transition of the world from darkness to light, reminding you of the impermanence of all things. You build a stack of small victories, waking up, enduring the cold, sitting in silence, training the body, that calcify into an unshakable confidence. You walk into a room of people who are still waking up, while you have been alive for hours. You are operating at a different frequency. Chapter 6. The Sovereign Path. You must ask yourself what you are willing to sacrifice for the sake of your own power. The comfort of the pillow is a sweet poison. It feels good in the moment, but it slowly robs you of your edge. The samurai lived with the constant awareness of death, which gave them an intense appreciation for life. They knew that a morning wasted was a morning that would never return. They treated the sunrise not as a routine occurrence, but as a renewed opportunity to perfect their character. Do not let the sun catch you sleeping. Do not let the world dictate the terms of your existence. Rise when the world is silent. Wash away the weakness of the previous day. Sit with your own soul and sharpen your intent. When you master the morning, you master the day. And when you master enough days, you master your life. This is the way of the warrior. It is a lonely path, walked in the dark, but it is the only path that leads to the light.